Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Roundup. Sorry about that. I was looking at something on Twitter. Charlie Gasparino. I haven't seen him in a while. But anyway, that being said, so we did go on and see the euro going to make a nice run into this level here. Let's go and take a look at that. Did make a nice run right in here. Actually had very good ADP numbers, and we actually finally shaded back in, and we'll move into the cash dollar index area that I've been, kept posting quite a few charts in the chat room. This 98.14. I thought, on if we did get bad numbers, I thought we could maybe we could get a stretch move down to 97.89. But you can see the importance of 98.14, and we've seen a very nice bounce off of that. It exceeded the 50%, from the 97.21 here to 99.37, but we also had a bigger move, and I thought that this was a good area here, this 98.14, because you also had another line of defense, which was the 38% of this move from 95.85 to 99.37. So you had some extra back in there. It certainly was a little bit under pressure. It looked like it might drop lower. Data came out, and data came in stronger than what they expected. So we saw a nice rebound back here in the dollar, and we're continuing to push right in here. What is resistance? You can see here. Seeing this touch right here at 98.40. We actually came to the 98.40, back down, and then we've kind of reasserted ourselves, and we're back here again. Okay. Dollar peso finally made it down to that 1967 we've been talking about. And initially when it went down there, we exceeded it by about a penny and a half, and then we rallied up to, what was it, almost 1973 before we've come down and gone beyond that. But in other news also, we have the dollar yen finally moved a little bit higher. We even got past the 709, but we ran out of gas around this 720. I thought they might be able to push in a little bit higher towards the 728, but no such luck there. I thought that was going to be a great little area. Obviously, this was happening while the bonds were just simply rallying as far as yields, and we'll move into that. You can see here bond yields, 10-year yields, and let's move this in here, 2 hour. We came right into this area right there. You can see that 59.50 right in there just before it. You can see some good touches coming across, and the market finally started to ease back from there just a bit. You can see that coming across, and I got in this minor scalp with the yen. I was hoping we'd make another jump up to about, as I said, 728, and I thought that would have been a keeper. But we just backed off here, but certainly that impacted. You saw the wheels really come off the caboose in gold. Same thing here with silver. Stelios got short and was looking for 1850, and I'll be doggone if he didn't get 1850. And then he turned around and got long on a scalp and did pretty well. So, and I haven't traded silver in years. I know Blake basically caught the top last night selling the close and scalped out, in Asian trading. I don't know if he ever got back in it again, but certainly gold really came apart with those numbers that we saw this morning. Also, the U.S.-China talk, that really got the SPOOs jumping in the Asian session to rally about, close to 28 handles. And let's go on and move back into that main screen again. Well, we got back up in here, and here was our bias chart resistance for today, which was 1067. 1073 is a 61%. I thought they might be able to move higher because I was cautioning, which was look at what the boons have done. I mentioned that in the chat room in Asia. Is like, well, you look what these boons are doing. Actually, I even posted the chart on Twitter. That's going to be bullish for the euro. Now, actually, the euro didn't even move off of that in Asia, but then it finally started getting going, and then boons finally started to come apart, and boy, we saw a pretty nice move here, obviously here in the euro, when we saw this move up in here. Bear with me. So we made a pretty good run. Here's that 1067 I was referring to. There's our bias chart resistance from this morning and the European crossover webinar. Once again, like I said, you may want to consider taking a 10-day trial with ForexAnalytix, $1, get to go on and raise the hood, kick the tires, check out not only the different types of analysis, basic, technical, macro, Elliott wave, harmonics, but to me, my favorite part is going to be the chat room. We have a lot of different trader styles. Everyone very supportive. Plus, you have access to all the webinars. The European crossover comes in at 4 a.m., which is 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. But Stelios records it and makes it available in the chat room for about 90 minutes before the U.S. Open. So once again, here's our bias chart resistance. We did make this move. It looked like we could maybe push a little bit higher. Then we got that data coming in at 10 a.m. Eastern, and boy, that really started to sink this thing. We did kind of make a stand here at the 1053 and moved a little bit higher, but we've since started to slide back as this dollar index has continued to go on and stay strong off of this area that I don't know how many times I must have posted this chart in the chat room, at least 3, maybe 4 times, and staying. I was liking this 98.14. I thought there was a possibility if the cable got some stops that we could make that dip below here, but I thought there was a good area because look at all these touches, and then on top of that, you had the 38% of the entire move back from 95.85 to 99.37, basically acting like an Alamo last stand, and maybe a stretch here. So I thought this is a pretty good little area right here. I was kind of hoping we'd actually dip lower because I thought it was going to be a great area if we got up into the upper 80s. Didn't quite make it quite there, and then we've gone and slid back, and I'm referring to in the euro. I thought they might press up around 89 to 93. So certainly we went and came off. We've seen a nice rebound here in the dollar CAD. Now we're actually rallying up to bias chart resistance here in the dollar CAD. Today's bias chart resistance, you can see it looked like it nicked it right to the pip, 32.46. That's today's bias chart resistance once again that we posted here in the in the chat room during our in the webinar, the European crossover at 3 a.m. Central Standard Time, and the video ready to play for you about 90 minutes before the U.S. Open. And of course, then we do go on and post the chat. The bias chart in the chat room a couple of times. You can see 1067 with the euro, dollar CAD 32.46. That's right there to the pip. But anyway, nonetheless, let's go and move into cable. Cable has had a very nice pop in here, and I thought they may try and squeeze people a little bit more as we go into the last couple of days of the week. I mean, we certainly added in here. We even went past right in here, which is our bias chart resistance, which was 23. Now we haven't gone gangbusters, but I thought there was a possibility that we could push even harder. And if cable doesn't give this up and we do get that strong NFP number, boy, watch out for these numbers here. 24.05 is a 27%. And then you have a nice confluence here right around 25 even. So something to keep on track, because we did have some people that have been selling the cable. And as I mentioned in the Asian session, hey, with those who have deep pockets, they may be okay, but other people are going to be fueling this thing higher as they try and cover their shorts going into the weekend. Nice move here on the Australian dollar. We actually have our bias chart resistance here at 68.34. That's actually confluencing with the 38% of this move from 66.77 to 70.82 back up in here. Nice confluence there. We made a push. I think we got a bit around 22 or something, but I haven't quite made it up here to this 34. And moving on to the cross rates. You can see this euro yen really made a very nice move up in here. Very nice move. We actually, this was a pretty good level right here too, 1837. We did go on and blow past this as the euro continued to go move higher. Certainly this would classify as a little bit of a shooting star here. If the wick was just a little bit longer, boy, we had a real shooting star. But then this confluences with this resistance level. So you've seen this market back off, even though we closed here. I haven't traded the euro yen in quite some time, but boy, that's a nice setup right there with the euro yen. Guppy also made a pretty nice move up in here with the Guppy, even getting past here our bias chart resistance. Here's our bias chart resistance, and I thought that was maybe not a bit aggressive, but even that was kind of stretching this morning. Once again, we do that analysis at 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. But you can see here we've made it to the 127% extension, and the market is struggling a bit here. That's here on the guppy. But be careful, as I mentioned, if we see further covering in sterling, then we may go on and press that even further. Also, a very nice move here with the Aussie yen, finally waking itself up out of what's been quite the slumber. And we had our bias chart resistance right here, 72.92. We got just above the 73, and then we're kind of resting here right there on that bias chart resistance. But obviously, the big mover of the day was in the precious metals, and we'll move there, or back there, I should say. I was looking at the gold, and boy, did we have quite the move here in gold. And if you look at this, sometimes you want to go and mix in these time frames. I mean, the good thing about the 2 hours, you can kind of see the bigger lay of the land. You know, you can see here on the way back, this 1544. And the market tried to hold that, but it dipped, and then we made another run just above it, and then we turned around and rolled lower. But you can see here on the 15-minute chart, you can see here, you see this little, it's like a little mini gravestone doji. That came in a very key level right here at this 1544, right there. And certainly when the market, broke lower, look at it, it dips all the way back down here to 1538, rally $6. And then you get what's looks like a little bit of a gravestone doji, and then we're able to break low. Now, once again, by that time, you had already had, and we generally go with the exponential moving averages based on the 30-minute. So you can see right here, you had already had a sell at that point. You took that dip, we rallied back up. And actually, if you look here on the 30-minute, there's that, you see a nice little gravestone doji with a rally up to 1550, and then we just sit there, okay? And then you can see this is key right here. You see there, at that level. I didn't even do anything here with the gold market. I just haven't, I don't know why I haven't really traded it at all for some time, and I guess I should. I used to be pretty active with it, and I've just left it alone. I've just stayed with the currencies. But some people have done exceptionally well today. I'm seeing a lot of people, to be honest with you, I made money today, but it almost feels like a losing day. I didn't grab the kind of moves I thought I was going to grab in euro. And, a lot of people in the chat room did really well. And it's Sino's Chi, I think he grabbed 25 cents on silver on the way back up. That's after it already dipped. So, kind of left today kind of feeling a little bit empty, even though I made money. Certainly wasn't what I thought I could have made, and certainly with some of these momentum movers that we saw here, some of the people in the chat room did very, very well trading the precious metals. Olivier did well, Chi did well, obviously Stelios did very, very well. But once again, you can see here with the bullions, we really started to come apart in the Asian session, and boy, did we press lower and press lower than we did. I know Steve talked about in the Facebook webinar, he's short the bund, so he's done very well on that. Me, primarily, I'm a scalper, so like I said, sometimes I miss some of these moves, and this was a very good move when things really, the momentum has really changed around here in the gold, and you can see here, I like to use exponential moving average. It's on the 30-minute and you can see here, that's when you got the sell mode here, and we rally back up. You get this little bit of a gravestone doji, and then the wheels really came off the caboose once we got that U.S. data at 10 a.m. Eastern. Then it looked like hey, there goes the move for the 50 basis points, not to mention we were already rallying in the equity futures, so obviously the move into that, the move out of the precious metals, and then the dollar already doing stronger, and then the data, suggests no 50 basis point. We'll be doing okay just to get the 25 basis points. So that's what we have here to go in and share with you today. Tomorrow's a big NFP day. Good luck to everybody, and thanks for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.